An old man listened to the same song every single morning for 20 years. But nobody knew the terrifying reason why he could never stop hearing it. People thought it was just a peaceful reggae song. Until one day, a little boy asked him one simple question. And the old man finally revealed the heartbreaking truth connected to three little birds. A secret so painful, it completely changed the meaning of the song forever. Once upon a time, the old man sat alone on a broken wooden bench beside the Sea of Kuta Bali, Indonesia. Every morning he came to the same place carrying nothing but a small radio that barely worked anymore. The villagers often whispered about him. Some said he had once been rich. Others said he lost his family in a terrible tragedy. But nobody truly knew why his eyes always looked so empty. One cloudy morning, the radio suddenly played a familiar song. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be all right. Three little birds landed quietly on the fence beside him. The old man smiled faintly for the first time in years. A small boy nearby noticed him and asked, "Grandpa, why do you listen to the same song every day?" The old man stayed silent for a moment. Then he answered softly, "Because once I stopped believing those words." The boy sat beside him curiously, and slowly the old man began telling his story. 20 years ago, that song was the last thing my family heard before they died. The old man stared at the ocean, his eyes drowning in memories. It was my daughter's birthday, he said softly. She had just turned 7. That morning, the house was full of laughter. My wife was cooking breakfast in the kitchen while his little daughter danced around the table singing happily Three Little Birds. She loved that song. Before leaving home, his daughter hugged him tightly and smiled. "Daddy, promise you'll come home early tonight." The old man's lips began shaking. That was the last thing I ever said to her. Hours later, while he was working, a massive fire suddenly broke out inside their house. People screamed, smoke filled the air. Families ran for their lives. The old man rushed back home like a madman, but when he arrived, the house was already covered in flames. He could hear people crying outside, and then he heard something that destroyed him forever. From inside the burning house, his little daughter was singing, weakly, terrified, crying while trying to comfort her mother. Every little thing gonna be all right. The old man collapsed as tears rolled down his face. "I tried to save them," he whispered. "I tried." Firefighters held him back as the flames consumed everything. And in a single night, he lost both his wife and daughter. For years he hated himself, not because the fire happened, but because his daughter's final memory of him was a father choosing work instead of family. The old man looked at the little boy beside him. "Do you know what hurts the most?" The boy slowly shook his head. The old man smiled painfully through tears. "She died believing I would come home." Then suddenly, 3 little birds landed quietly beside him once again. And for the first time in years, the old man finally cried like a child. The song was never promising a life without pain, and it was teaching him that even in pain, life still continues. The birds still sing after storms, the sun still rises after darkness, and faith still exists even after heartbreak. That was the plot twist he never understood. Everything gonna be all right did not mean life would become perfect. It meant the human heart can survive what it thought would destroy it. The little boy listened quietly, his eyes filled with emotion. "But Grandpa, are you happy now?" he asked. The old man looked at the ocean. Then he smiled gently. "No," he said honestly. "Some wounds never disappear." He placed his hand on his chest. "But I finally found peace. And for the first time in many years, The old man stopped waiting for his old life to return. Instead, he thanked God for the life he still had. Life lesson. Sometimes people think faith means we will never cry, never fail, or never lose the people we love. But true faith is continuing to wake up every morning, even after life breaks your heart. The song teaches us that hope is not pretending everything is perfect. Hope is believing that darkness is temporary. Even the longest night eventually meets the sunrise. Moral of this story: pain can change a person, but pain does not have to destroy them. Sometimes God sends us small reminders, a song, a memory, or even 3 little birds, to tell us, you are still alive, and your story is not over yet.